Today we're continuing our sous-vide series with a chicken breast. This is not the anemic chicken breast you see in sous-vide recipe booklets. Not only are these breasts tender and juicy, but they have the most beautifully crispy skin. How do you get this level of browning without ruining the perfect sous-vide doneness? That's the question we'll answer in this video. We'll also make a 5-minute almond cream sauce to answer life's persistent question of how to jazz up chicken breasts without putting in much work. If you recall, not so long ago, I made a video on chicken breasts that require nothing more than a skillet and a thermometer, and I promised you that they were as good as sous vide. If that's the case, why bother with sous vide? That's because sous vide is less error-prone. Without sous vide, you need to pay attention to each chicken breast in case they are of slightly different size. You have to insert the thermometer correctly to find the minimum temperature and do that several times until you finally catch the right doneness. An experienced home cook without distractions will find it easy peasy, but a tired parent with a screaming kid might not. Well, sous vide to the rescue, and the whole process becomes much more forgiving and reliable. Let's set our immersion circulator to 141 Fahrenheit and get started. The skin is crucial to this dish. It will protect our breasts from drying out during the final sear. Under the skin, in the thickest part of the breast, is hiding a rubbery chunk of fat. If you want thin and crispy skin, I suggest you remove it. I ripped out the little pieces called tenders to get a more uniform look for the picture. But if you don't care about people clicking on your food, no need to do that. Let's salt the chicken under the skin, over the skin, and on the flesh side. I'll cook the tenders too and use them for a chicken salad. Put the chicken into a freezer Ziploc bag. I like to do it vertically so that the breasts don't tumble on top of each other when I lower them into the water bath. Keep the bag wide open and lower it into the water bath. Let the water push all the air out for you and zip. Check that the skin is nice and flat. If it folds or gets mangled, this is the time to fix it. Cook at 141 Fahrenheit for 1 hour. Then dump the hot water and fill the container with cold water. Put the chicken on the bottom and press down with some weight. I use an empty dish and let the weight of the water do the job for me. This will make the skin nice and flat, which will help us with the sear. If your tap water isn't very cold, add some ice cubes. Cool for 20 minutes. Get the chicken out of the water bath. And if you aren't planning to use it within 24 hours, store it in the fridge in the bag. If you want to use it within 24 hours, place on a paper towel-lined plate and dry very well. The chicken is now ready to sear, but could be put in the fridge for up to a day. This will help the skin get extra dry and produce amazing crispness. To sear the chicken, set a skillet over high heat, if possible a stainless steel one. Add enough oil to cover the bottom with a thin film. I'm using grapeseed oil, but any high heat oil will work. When the oil shimmers and is close to the smoke point, but not quite, add the chicken breast skin side down. Yes, they are cold. That's intentional. Cover the pan and reduce the heat to medium-low. On an electric stove, have another burner preheated to medium-low and move the pan. Don't be surprised if the sizzle stays very loud for a few minutes. I'm counting on your pan to retain enough heat to brown the chicken. The purpose of the lid is to help the meat warm up and to protect your stove from splatter. Cook for 6 minutes without opening. Then touch the top of the chicken breasts. If they feel hot, you are done. The skin should be beautifully brown. If not, make a note to adjust the heat next time. Turn off the burner, flip the chicken over for 30 seconds, and get them out of the pan. Let the chicken rest for 5 minutes. This timing works great for smaller breasts, about 250 grams each. For bigger breasts, you might want to cook them a few minutes longer and to test the thickest part with a thermometer. But unlike normal cooking methods, there is a huge range of temperatures that is absolutely fine. Basically anything from 100 to 130 Fahrenheit will work. The reason for that is that your chicken already has perfect texture thanks to that water bath part. Okay, so all you're trying to do now is get it pleasantly warm for eating. To make the sauce, pour off the fat, add a glug of heavy cream and a dollop of coarse almond butter. I get mine in the bulk aisle of Whole Foods. Normally, I'd add some chopped herbs and a squirt of lemon, but I had a bit of Salsa Verde that needed using up, so instead of herbs and lemon, I used a spoonful of this herby sauce. Salsa Verde is similar to pesto. You dump a bunch of parsley into the food processor, though mint or cilantro work well too. Add some lemon zest, lemon juice, a little garlic and salt, and a lot of olive oil and puree. Don't forget to taste your sauce for salt and acidity and adjust. Mine needed a pinch. We have the sauce, we have the chicken. All we need is some vegetable and we have a meal. My 2-minute vegetable this time is kale. The video for it is below. If I didn't just show you that the weekday part of this meal only takes 15 minutes, would you believe me? Yes, you have to wash and dry the kale over the weekend, trim the chicken, and cook it sous vide. But that takes roughly 20 minutes. And if you're not comfortable trimming the fat from the chicken breast, then don't. It will still be good. That's the beauty of this kind of technique. It helps you get started in the kitchen, and as you gain more skills, you can go from good to great. The links for kale and all the sous vide basics are in the description below. This video was brought to you by viewers like you. If you liked it, click here to support my channel. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that little bell button for notifications, and if you are ever in the Boston area, maybe I'll see you in one of my classes.